All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna break down the three, and then we'll have the little quick Q&A at the end. All right, so pretty much GU. This is actually a signal that we sent out within the signals group. We ended up getting almost 3 times our risk. So if you go out to the weekly, right? You go out to the weekly, you could very much tell that the weekly is bullish, pretty clean, high, low, high, then your higher low at this previous level of support. Now, pretty very simple, just broke, retested it. You go down to the daily, and then you can very much see the daily shift in structure. So you can tell how it was creating high lows. And then we had this very strong morning star rejection from the weekly level, right? Very strong, clean rejection. You go down to the 4 hour, and then pretty much the 4 hour was trending bearish. Like this weekly pullback obviously has structure within the 4 hour, 1 hour, and the lower frames. So you have this low, high, low, high, low, lower high, previous level acting resistance, double bottom, break, retest, resistance acting as support, as well as here, here, and here. So this is a very well respected area. For those of you guys that are new, for those of you guys that are in the signals, you guys can we've been watching this since it was like this. And we've been anticipating this whole move. You could go back to the breakdowns within the signals group. So this trade has actually been playing out very nicely. So pretty much we waited for the higher high. Now that we have the higher high, we wait for the higher low at previous resistance to act as support. And then we literally got in at after this bullish engulfing right here. Because this was in the middle of the night. This was at, see right there, 2 in the morning. Or 1, 2 in the morning, and I'm asleep at that time. So we basically waited for the next higher low, got in. And then we targeted 140,000. Well, first of all, it's a round level, and it was at also this level that's also very well respected. You have some support, resistance, and it was worth it because we actually pulled out right on time for 2.5 at risk. Now, for the remaining of this week, I'm looking for pretty much continuing longs, to be completely honest, because now the daily has broken above this lower high. You have the low, higher high, right? So now we're getting a higher low at this previous level of resistance, support, now acting as support. So I'm looking for any entries to take this long, right? So, and if you go down to the 4 hour, very clean inverse head and shoulders. We have this coming up right here. So I'm looking for either a little pullback to this level right here that's also very well respected to get another higher low to take it long, or if it decides to take off, I'll just wait for the break and retest of 40,000. That's very well respected. And it would also be the retest of the neckline of the head and shoulders. So Euro USD is the next one, pretty much out on the weekly. The weekly is bullish, very simple. You have high, low, high, low, high, higher low, previous resistance acting as support. Then you could go down to the daily, and then you could tell this area right here on the daily is very well respected. You have all of this resistance here. And if you scroll more left, it is a very well respected resistance, support, resistance out through here, support through here, resistance through here. So it's a very well respected area, clearly because it just pulled up, tapped, and then took off, right? So now I'm waiting for either another clean daily higher low to come back into this area, or maybe a double bottom. I don't think it's going to come down that far, but the weekly definitely needs to create a wick, right? You could tell every single week has a wick. So maybe it could give us a little wick into this area, and then it'll be a daily probably body 4-hour structure, and that's where we enter long. So maybe if the 4-hour gives us a little higher low, come back into this area, reject again, that'll be the wick, and that's where we enter, and we'll be targeting, we'll probably do something like this. Probably for first targets, something like, say we get in here, stops probably right under the zone, targets the next structure level, a nice 1 to 5. And then once we break this level, then we target final take profit. But this is definitely a swing that I'm going to be catching, and I will be holding this to my final take profit, which is here. It'll probably take a week, 2 weeks. I'm perfectly fine with it. And then my final one is NZD CAD. So this is actually probably one of the cleanest ones. If you guys go back in the signals, the breakdown, it was literally played out exactly how I broke down, but it didn't come right to our area of interest where I was looking to get in, right? So I drew this out when I was in Mexico. When price was way down here, I'm like, all right, waiting for the pullback to then sell, right? You go out to the weekly, and then you can pretty much tell that the weekly is doing high, low, high, low, high. And then here we broke this higher low level. So now we're bearish on the weekly, right? You could tell the body closed under, so now we're bearish. You go out to the daily, and very cleanly on the daily, you have your high, low, lower high, higher low, higher high, and then you have your breaking structure. Now you pretty much wait for the retest, previous support, that was once also support, resistance, retest, along with the EMA, fib, everything to then go short. But price didn't really come that clean into that area. As you can tell, it missed it by nothing. And I was actually looking at this, but I wasn't going to take a trade, something like this, with such a big stop loss, because my first targets had to be this level, because clearly it's the level that it's very well respected. You have resistance, very well strong support, and then obviously rejected here, and it's also around level of 90,000. You guys can see it here. So now pretty much I'm just waiting for the breaking under. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, cool. I'm back. Now I had to go open the door really fast. All right, so pretty much now we're going out to the weekly time frame, and then you could also tell that it'll be the retest of this weekly structure, this wick, and I'm pretty sure if you look left, you got some resistance here. It's a little choppy on the weekly. What we mainly care now is that all the frames are bearish, confirmation, rejection from this area. So everything is now in sync. You go down to the 4 hour, and then it'll be, so this is why we didn't take that trade, because it wasn't worth the risk. I only take trades if it's either a 1 to 2.5 or above. I don't take anything really under 2.5. I don't really like taking it. It's not worth my money. So this retest here of this round psychological level with previous structure, and then we would throw our fib from point A to B. We take out the unnecessary ones. Very clean trade. So I'm gonna have my alarm here. Cool. Hope you guys like that. You guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. For those of you in the signals, I will be going live tomorrow, updating how everything is going, and pretty much if we see anything other clean in these, and then I think we might have an entry on this one tomorrow as well with this one. So I'm gonna stop the recording.